fourth and final team of the day. I'd like to welcome FarmMind from Louisiana Farm Bureau to join the conversation. The team is led today in the pitch by Colin Raby, and will be joined by Aaron Beatty for Q&A. So we'll hand it over to FarmMind. Let's give them a round of applause.
Thank you all for this incredible opportunity. Our team has gone from students doing research with the LSU Ag Extension to becoming one of the fastest growing ag tech startups in the nation, with our subscribers over doubling every single month since launching the platform in August. This is because we created the world's first agricultural intelligence engine, an advanced AI system built by agricultural professionals for agricultural professionals that is able to do analysis never before thought of. See, every single year, millions of agricultural professionals and Farm Bureau members have to make thousands of decisions that determine whether they make a profit or have to sell the farm. And in the modern era, we have all sorts of phenomenal data, including tools like this data stick from an 8250 flow axle combine that give us yield data, that give us application data. Add this to satellite data, to sensor data, to drone data, to all of the research coming out from extensions across the nation, the ever-evolving complexity of regulations, all the documentation from soil maps to field notes, to mapping, to your assets, to your financials. All of this information spread across so many sources, compiled by the fact that the current situation of agricultural software is made up of a scattered patchwork of narrow solutions. This is why the FarmMind team created a system that brings all of this information onto one platform. The FarmMind team are agricultural professionals and software engineers that came together to make AI useful for the workflows that agricultural professionals depend on. Think of it as a virtual researcher, secretary, and assistant right in your pocket 24/7. And this isn't just theory. Ever since launching this fall, we went from a few prototype beta testers to currently managing and serving over 500,000 acres right now, as we've gotten organic growth with almost zero marketing other than what you see over our table over there. FarmMind works without any new hardware across organizations large and small and across every language you need. This prize money would go really far in helping us continue our rapid growth, onboarding the team members we need to support this growth, finalizing core capabilities, and making sure we can get this technology into the hands of the folks that need it today. One Farm Bureau member who's using FarmMind told us, quote, "Before using FarmWorks and other ag softwares, it took me days of work. Now using FarmMind, it takes me just a few minutes." The future of agriculture is not just new gadgets. It's doing more with the data we already have, and FarmMind is helping agricultural professionals across the nation optimize their operations and automate their paperwork. So please help us, help everyone use the modern tools they need to farm smarter. Thank you. We're going to be joined by Aaron Beatty. He was actually one of our first customers who was so excited by the program, he came on and became a co-founder.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much.
Story.
We'll have it for the judges.
Okay. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Loved reviewing your application. I really believe in what you're doing, but my concern is that there's a lot of other companies who want to do the same thing that you are, and you might be swimming with a lot of sharks. So tell me why I'm wrong as far as
it's interesting you say that, and yet right now there's only one other company on Earth that's talked about doing anything even close to what we're doing, and they're out of the Middle East. They're focused on the Middle East and Europe, and they just raised a $7.5 million round at about a $40 million valuation to do it. Again, mostly focused on the Middle East and Europe right now, but we were really excited to see that just this past October, because if you look at their website, let's be honest, it looks like they copy and pasted a lot of the stuff we've been saying for the last 2 years. And so we're really excited. We went on and tried their technology, and we are years ahead, not only on the core central AI tech, but also on the implementation of actually making it useful for the workflows that agricultural professionals actually use, because our team has ag professionals that are out in the field that are guiding the development of not only the core technology, but the actual user interface of how easy it is to use.
And I can also build on that. So these other programs that may be out here or trying to develop may be biased information.
Yeah.
We want the independency of agriculture. What independency is there to stay there? So these books like this, so as a consultant, we live and die by these books. These are research trials. We are putting this at utmost importance because it's the independent stuff that is going to innovate agriculture and not the biased information.
Can you spoke a little bit about the data and the accessibility of data. So are you guys integrating things like John Deere Link, Case IH Ops Center, Climate Field View, so farmers can use your app to already look at the information that they have?
Oh yeah, keep going. Ops Center, Field View, drone integrations, even potential integrations with another software company that's here right now. That we are taking all of this data, incorporating it into one place to make it useful, to not only make it really easy to interact with and manage, think of like an ERP system for ag, but then to be able to feed the AI system to be able to give intelligent insights to help you optimize those operations.
Just adding to that, the integration piece. So data is really important to be correct, right? So when you start
Absolutely.
integrating with everybody, how do you control and make sure that that information you're spitting back out is good information? When you take a book in, you can obviously check that book and make sure things are right. When you start opening your access up wider, how do you maintain consistency on data?
Yeah, so it's all about cross correlations. It's interesting. You mentioned like when you get it from the book, you know it's correct. We've actually started to partner with 3 ag extensions across the nation because our model is smart enough that it started cross-comparing these different sources of information, and it's actually started to notice small typos, errors, and application rates because, look, if you put out an ag guide once a year, things change. New labels come out, and small oversights happen. And so our model has even started to say, like, hey, this information, this re-entry interval, or this actually is currently wrong because the most recent EPA label supersedes that information. And so the way that our system intakes information, it's actually a higher quality than the data that we're receiving. We've actually had to go and kind of nerf our system to be able to handle some of these legacy systems of information because it's able to cross-compare it with such high fidelity.
So data transparency, data ownership is a really big conversation. In Nebraska, we're working on a data privacy bill.
Awesome.
How do you ensure that the data that you're getting, you actually have the ability to use that in your models?
Yeah, so this is a huge point for us. As an independent company, we want the data to serve the grower, and their data is their data. Our CTO has a cybersecurity background, so as we've been building this, we have been building this with the idea that we want to really containerize this data and make sure that everyone's data is their own, while also allowing people to work in teams seamlessly to decide what data they share. And in fact, in the long run, we were just talking to a potential partner about if a large corporation wants to use some of this data to do something helpful, literally being able to give back to the farmer if they opt in, to pay them or give them free services for using the data in particular ways, but only if they opt into it. It could literally become an additional revenue source for the farmer while they're getting all these great services.
Is there any, what kind of protections do you have if your AI spits out a rec for a field on a particular fertilizer or pesticide? Producer does that, something happens, they have a disaster. Where's the liability fall, and how do you manage that within the AI system?
Couple quick points. One, it is a phenomenal tool for research, but it in no way replaces the expertise of an agricultural consultant or someone who's been doing it for a long time. It is there to assist them, to get them the information they need, but it's not the end-all, be-all. 2, we cite every single fact that we talk about in there. Not only do we cite the document, but often we cite the exact page. So when we cite an EPA label, when we cite an extension guide, it will say page 37, you click on that link, it will go exactly to that page, so you can refer to exactly where that information is coming from. And 3, like, we are very transparent. We say, hey, trust but verify, right? It's going to give you all of this great research information, and then you go trust, verify, check the sources, and make sure that that makes sense for your situation. And I'll also say, as folks are using it, it gets better because it has more information about their services. But a quick example, there was an individual, one of our first customers actually, who used a general AI system, Gemini, ChatGPT, and he ended up bleaching half of his field because it told him something that was completely inaccurate. So you guessed, the first question he asked our system was that one, and he said, if I had been using this, it would have saved me over $2 million this last year.
how do you keep up with the rapid change in the intelligence of the models that are out there and there's constantly changing?
Yeah.
Are you guys a fully independent model? Or are you piggybacking off of somebody else's model? How do you make sure that you're leveraging the latest technology that's out in the market today because it's changing rapidly?
Absolutely. So with only 30 seconds, I can't get too much into that, but I can say our system is made up of an agentic network. So imagine a ton of different AIs that are each trained to do their own job really well. So when you're using it, all of these little experts can contribute to solving the problem. So one expert might use an open model over here. One expert has a local model that we have fine-tuned. Another expert has this. Another expert has this, all combined with like typical NLP and deterministic flows to make sure that it's able to do what it's able to do accurately. So we don't just use one model. We use all different sorts of models where it makes sense for every single expert in the system.
Last question. So what are you going to first spend the money on if you guys win?
So there is currently multiple team members that are working part-time that have been begging us to get on. We need to accelerate. We definitely believe that in this space, what we're building, there's the potential that the first mover could be the last mover in the space. And we think it's really important that it comes from an independent company, that it comes from an American company. And so we really want to accelerate. So the two things we're going to spend it, we're going to get some of those folks that are part-time, full-time. And we are also going to actually start marketing. Because that helps.
Get a bigger TV.
Right. Well, not get a bigger TV, but actually, start doing marketing materials and that type of thing. Like I said, currently our only marketing is like that tablecloth and the flyers we have over there.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's give FarmMind one last round of applause.
Appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
And we'll take just one final pause for the judges to tabulate. Be right back.
$90,000 for a total of $100,000 for their new business venture. Our 2026 Ag Innovation Challenge champion is FarmMind.org from Louisiana, represented by Colin Raby and Aaron Beatty.